Yeah,
Yes, sir. We back.
back at it.
Like a good health habit. Speaking of good health,
Let's go.
I saw somebody who went to the gym today, came back extra poofed.
I was a little exhausted. I was a little tired. Just a little bit.
You know, it just had me thinking, when's the last time you had your vitamin B and C and all your essentials checked inside your body?
That's been a minute. I know I haven't gone to get that done since probably my last doctor's visit last year.
Funny, that brings us to our sponsor.
Okay.
Let's Get Checked. Let's Get Checked is a worldwide leader in at-home health tests that puts you in control of your own healthcare.
Let's go.
I love Let's Get Checked because it gives me the freedom to understand what is happening in my body without having to get the permission of a doctor.
Yeah, that's cool.
You don't have to leave your home. You don't have to go to some random lab, get your blood drawn. It's super convenient.
Let's go.
Look at that. That's the box. Look. Open it up. Let them see what's on the inside. So you got your UPS label. You can mail all your stuff in. You've got your
Where to put your sample back in, pretty much.
Your sample, where you send off to.
Directions on
your
how
directions.
To do it. Pricker.
All our prickers, man. I prick myself. I got pricks. I got my pricks on my finger.
And this is where you put the blood.
And this is where you drop your sample. You send it right off, and then you get it back quickly.
You can order a testing kit that will be delivered to you in discreet packaging. Once your sample arrives in the laboratory, confidential results will be available from your secure online account within 2 to 5 days. Let's Get Checked laboratories are CLIA approved and CAP accredited, which are the highest ranking levels of accreditation. Your results are reviewed by Let's Get Checked's clinical team, and you'll have the option for a virtual consultation to discuss your results. In some cases, the clinical team can prescribe medication that can be sent to the pharmacy of your choice. Get easy to understand and actionable health insights in 2 to 5 days from the comfort of your own home. Visit trylgc.com/SIBO and Snapper and get 25% off your testing using code SIBO and Snapper. Also linked in my description below.
Workout habit.
Oh, and a good workout habit too.
Hey, Thomas Sowell said, you know what Thomas Sowell said?
I did not have my mic when I was saying all that.
You know what Thomas Sowell said?
That formal education isn't for everyone.
I was going to read it.
I
that
agree.
Was the whole point while I was leading
I know,
it up.
but I said it. Can you switch it up a little bit?
I said, you know what it said? She said, that formal education. Slide this chair back.
You're funny with the crisp highlight. I love it though. All right, what we doing? Be jawing on each other all the time, y'all. That's one thing that keeps us laughing in our marriage.
Let's go.
It's all right. Okay.
Let's go.
Let's not tell the real story.
Oh.
Yeah, let's not tell what really happened.
When? Oh, that one. Bang.
885-8850. Shan, you're on the air.
Hi, yes, I was driving in my car and unfortunately don't have a car
So
phone.
blurry.
But I took exceptions to something that was discussed regarding that being offered these touchy-feely classes. I am not in that 25% learning style that is pure academic. I'm a very bright person, but I do not do well in an academic setting. I think that adding so many of these touchy-feely and interactive classes, I mean, I got through a chemistry class because I had an instructor who saw that, you know, the book was hard for me, so the lab part was the part I could excel in. I think this is very important to, you know, not all of us are book learners.
Well, you know, I could say that I also have a high opinion of myself, and I'm not very good at dancing, but I really don't think that ballet schools should be adjusted to take for people like me. People like me shouldn't be in ballet.
Right.
And the school you have to realize too that it's not a question of what you like or what you're good at. There are requirements in the world that if you're going to build bridges across the river, you have to know a certain amount of math. If you don't want those cars to fall into the river as the bridge collapses under them, and if you want doctors who can cure people, you're going to have to have people who know chemistry, whether they like it or not.
True.
So we don't have the option of just doing whatever happens to feel good to us.
You can't
no,
say
I'm sorry. I can't agree with any of that. It is not society that is forcing these people to do this. These people have been looking for ways of evading academic work for generations.
Who is they? When
The
you say
teachers, the administrators, they love anything that is non-academic. There have been studies done of kids in schools and departments of education. They love anything that's non-academic when you get into role playing and all this kind of thing. And I think it's perfectly understandable. You get the dregs of the academic world becoming teachers. You have education courses that repel able students from ever studying the subject. And so you've cut them off at the pass. Anyone who has any ability does not want to take these ridiculous courses in college. And of the few who are hardy souls who go on and take it and suffer through them and become teachers, those with high ability are the first ones to drop out. And so within a very few years out of the class, you have the bottom half of the class now has tenure and the top half is going somewhere else. Well, the phrase is dumbing down. What's so ironic is the school is failing so miserably in what they're paid to do that they should take on this role of being social philosophers. A lot of these programs are really a substitute for hard work by the teachers. I mean, when I think of the teachers I had, they could not have cared less whether I felt good about myself. They didn't ask me, how did you get to school? Did you walk these 15 blocks from home? Or did you have money for the trolley? They couldn't have cared less. They wanted to make sure I had better have my homework when I got there, and it had better be right. The great problem with education throughout is that people are not accountable. They can run those schools to indulge themselves, whether for whatever fad they like, or for whatever way they like to teach. And that goes all the way through to the colleges. Teachers have been a very organized group since the 1960s, and the National Education Association is all in favor of these crazy things that have been criticized here this morning by me and by others. So that they have, and in fact, that's what choice is all about. Is it about putting the parents and the taxpayers and the general public in charge and not allowing these little groups to create their own little fiefdoms where they do what they please regardless of what the rest of us think.
Wow.
Wow, okay.
You heard that then.
Yeah, I did.
He said the educators running from education. In other words, that's what he's saying. He said they don't want to do anything but
Academics. How you feel about that as an
Wow.
educator?
I mean, I'm just really trying to pencil in on what he's saying, but I guess, I can see that. So what's the point? You know what I mean?
The point of the educator?
Yeah, so what's the point of it all then? I would like to have read some of the research studies he's mentioned.
Yeah.
That kind of pinpoints to highlight, some
What
of the
he's
things.
saying.
Yeah, but I can agree. People can run the schools the way they want to and spend the money the way they want to. I remember one year, a teacher was saying that in the school where I was working, she was saying that we don't really need any more reading to try any new reading books or new math books. Let's see if the ones that we already have purchased that are brand new, really work, if what we are doing is really working. But because they need to spend money and they have a budget for this amount and it needs to be clear before the next coming fiscal year, then they're going to order unnecessary stuff. So that just goes back to saying, I guess, that that there's a level of accountability.
Okay.
So I get it.
Okay.
Wow.
From an educator.
Sowell is the bomb.
Let's go.
He has so much stuff I could probably just get lost in reading.
It would get lost.
Yes. And then I'd have to sit there and really focus and tell myself to stay present. Don't drift. Don't drift.
Don't drift.
Don't drift.
Because them words get thick.
And you got to start all over again from the very beginning. But that's why you have to write along the way and write in the article.
Just so you can make sure you pinpoint where your eyes.
Yeah, and underline, and that's how I like to read the article. I'm just not going to read it with a highlighter. That ain't going to be it.
All
not
right.
no peer-reviewed article.
All right. Like, comment,
Yeah.
subscribe. Don't take a nosedive. Comment down in the section below if you want some more.
Let go.
See you in the next one.
Yeah.